A bunch of people recently sent me a clip of a vegan doctor saying that cheese led to lower sperm counts, eating cheese and milk and dairy and beef fat would make you fat, and that would lead to more estrogen, and that basically cheese was the worst thing in the world because it was full of estrogen. So I have to watch this clip and respond. I kind of know what he's going to say here because I've heard these vegan arguments before, but I'm going to dive into it and then I'm going to break it down. This, I'm pretty sure, is just complete BS.
When you eat cheese, you're eating something that's 3/4 fat. It's really high in calories. And added to your chicken fat and beef fat and the fat that people get all over the place, you're gaining body weight. And guys are struggling with this and mistakenly blaming carbs and so forth. But as you gain body weight, every fat cell in your body is an estrogen factory. What I mean is your testosterone goes into a fat cell and estrogen comes out. You have enzymes called aromatase enzymes that take that testosterone from your bloodstream. And the more body fat you have, the more they are reducing your testosterone because they're converting it to estradiol.
Is this in part, in your view, why there's been a decline in testosterone in men over the last couple of decades?
Without question. I can reduce your testosterone level within a matter of a couple of weeks just by putting you on a cheesy, meaty diet. The more your body fat expands, the more your testosterone level is neutralized. And it gets worse. Because there's estrogen in the dairy itself, that adds to the estrogen your body is now making in your body fat. An animal-based diet is just a recipe for hormone haywire.
This is obviously an observational epidemiology study, a survey, an association that he is claiming or suggesting is causal. The idea that cheese is going to decrease sperm motility and lead to decreased morphology is just association in observational studies, which are bunk and probably looking at men who are eating very poor quality diets. There are clear studies with humans showing that dairy fat is associated with leanness. There's a study with 6 to 18-year-old humans showing that the more dairy they eat, the higher the likelihood they have a lean body phenotype. There are also interventional studies with women who are obese trying to lose weight showing that a high protein, high dairy diet led to more lean mass and less body fat. There are nutrients in cheese like conjugated linoleic acid, which actually decrease aromatase activity, and CLA has also been shown to increase testosterone. So the idea that cheese is lowering your testosterone or somehow making you fat is not supported by science. CLA lowers aromatase activity, lowers estrogen, increases testosterone. Cheese also contains vitamin K2, a hugely valuable nutrient, as we know from the Rotterdam study. There's a 2020 meta-analysis that showed that low-fat diets were actually associated with lower testosterone. Also found in dairy are these very unique fats called odd-chain fatty acids, C15 and C17, which really don't occur in other foods, and these have consistently been associated with improved health outcomes. The amount of estrogen in cheese and milk is extremely low compared to the amount of estrogen that your body makes, whether you are a man or a woman, every day. And if you are worried about estrogens in your foods, maybe consider the fact that soy and legumes, beans, have 1,000 times more plant-based estrogens in them than dairy or cheese. So again, the claims made here are just false when you look at the data. If you look at meta-analyses of dairy consumption, whether it's observational trials or interventional trials, randomized controlled trials, the data is very clear. Consumption of dairy is associated with improved health outcomes, more leanness, less fat. Another critical point to note here is that there are interventional studies with butter showing that it lowers inflammation. So claims that dairy foods are inflammatory are not supported by the science either. I'm gonna let the comments speak for themselves here. I love that he's calling out an animal-based diet, but I would say that an animal-based diet of organs, either fresh or desiccated, meat, preferably well-raised, fruit, honey, raw dairy, including cheese, which you should eat with enjoyment. That is not a recipe for hormone haywire. That is a recipe for thriving, for libido, for pregnancy, for fertility. I've seen this so many times, guys. The anecdotes are just anecdotes, but when there are thousands, if not tens of thousands of them, we need to listen up. I love that he brought all this stuff up because every single point was basically something I would disagree with. I would love to have a respectful debate with Dr. Neal Barnard. I'll be waiting for him to come on the podcast, or we'll do a YouTube video of it in the future. But hopefully that helps clear up a lot of the confusion about this clip because there are so many untruths here. and I tried to include as much science as I can. So lastly, I just want to say thank you to all of you who find this content helpful. Thanks for supporting the work that I'm doing. Thanks for sending me these clips so I can review them. I'm so glad there are so many of you out there who are benefiting from this animal-based message. I think organs are a critical part of your diet. If you aren't getting enough liver and heart in your diet, check out Heart and Soil Supplements, where we make the finest grass-fed desiccated organs on the planet. And very exciting, in case you didn't hear, I have a new project that has recently launched. It is called Lineage, and we are making grass-fed, regeneratively raised beef sticks with heart and liver. Check us out at lineageprovisions.com. Love you guys. See you in the next video.